Stand up and shout mice.
Mice! Mice!
Squeak! I am not mice, but I am rat. I am the task rat. And I am back to judge some unsuspecting British comedians as they try to please somebody slightly nicer than me. Previously on Rat of All Trades, I hosted a poll to determine what I would react to next. Either Taskmaster Series 17 or Tiny Toons Luniversity Season 2. Both of them were awesome shows that I really want to dole out reactions to. And the winner was... I don't know! I never actually set an end date to the poll, which makes things complicated. I was originally going to record this video right here before I went on my Eclipse trip, and back then, Tiny Toons was winning the poll, but I'm actually recording after I saw the Eclipse, and now Taskmaster's ahead. So I'm just going to react to both, which I wanted to do anyway, but I'm going to alternate each video each week. So this week, Taskmaster, next week, Tiny Toons. So if you like my Taskmaster reaction, might as well come back next week for Tiny Toons, okay? Come on, you're already watching a talking rat. You might as well dive a little bit deeper into the cartoony rabbit hole. But today, we're watching Taskmaster. As with most series of Taskmasters, I know nothing about these comedians. I mean, the only little bits that I've gleaned about them are from random articles or YouTube comments, but really, I know nothing. I have seen the trailer, though, so I know what costumes they're wearing, or what one of them is wearing. But that's it. So let's get going! But just a quick note first. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't. I mean, you can if you want to see, like, the numbers tick up, more views and stuff. But this reaction here is a truncated version. You're gonna get the full reaction for free over on Ratreon. That's Ratreon.com/ratofalltrades. If you want more full reactions, you can become a member to get access to the rest of the full reactions for this series. And also the full reactions for Series 16 I did last year. But that's not the only bonus you'll get for becoming a paying Ratron. You'll also get to see all the episodes a week earlier than on YouTube. And I'm going to be reacting to the Series 17 outtakes and interviews. Okay, no more stalling. This is Taskmaster Series 17 as judged by the Task Rat.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, no, no. Yes.
Okay, I always love the intros, and we will get to... we saw a couple of these in the trailer. Hand wall and the person slapping the thing.
Baby.
Okay.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm excited. Grappling with rock climbing. Or my life. One of those two. Hello, Greg.
Welcome! Let's get the first of our prize tasks underway.
He has
shall
done
we?
much worse.
Underway
I'll
right
give him
away.
that.
And for this episode, you've asked them to bring in something pretty important. It's this. The most glorious thing that sounds a bit like Greg Davies if you mumble it. The most glorious thing will get 5 points, and the winner of this first
I don't know what
episode will take home
Mavis
5
is.
things which all sound a bit like Greg Davies if mumbled. Over to you.
Yeah.
Upload this.
Right, Joanne.
Yeah,
What have you brought in?
I brought in a jug.
It looks like this.
It's called a
There
glug.
you
Glove
go.
jug. Yeah, okay, I've seen it.
That's called a glug.
It's full of gravy.
What do you mean it's called a glug jug?
When you pour it out, it makes a glug sound.
It makes, that's it, it makes the glug sound. It has glug acoustics. It goes glug, 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 Greg Davies.
Yes, I know. So what rhymes with Davis?
Gravis.
Thank you.
I brought in Greek diaries.
Greek Diaries.
Sounded like you said Greg Davies.
You've actually brought me in, John.
I brought in Grieg's diaries.
The Diaries of Edvard Grieg, the
I
Norwegian
like
composer.
And does it have to be glorious too?
Is it a glorious thing? That is meant to be the most glorious.
What have you brought in?
I went for excited.
Can you say it again?
Eggs Benedict.
Eggs.
Are you saying Eggs Benedict?
I am.
Who would have thought Joanne would be back in the game?
Hey, this is a hard one.
Yeah, here's the Eggs Benedict. It's difficult to mumble Benedict into Davis, for sure. What have you brought in?
Egg babies. Greg Davies.
Will you mumble it for me?
Egg babies.
Egg babies. I like that, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
All right, the problem is it also has to be glorious.
Man, that is good. What have you brought in that rhymes with Greg Davis?
So I was mumbling your name and I came up with Peg Mavis.
Was that?
Peg Mavis.
Mavis?
Grape Mavis.
Greg Mavis.
It's Mavis from Coronation Street as a peg doll.
Pegged Mavis. Mavis.
This is tough.
Yeah, it's not bad. Reece Shearsmith did the picture.
Did he?
All right. Pause. Now we get to give people points. This is the best part. I kept trying to listen carefully to Steve's prize because I think he was actually saying the name Mavis, and I came up with that randomly. So, yeah, I know nothing about Coronation Street, but probably the name he was saying is Mavis. All right, unless it's something totally different that I was somehow mishearing. But anyway, I think my scores are probably going to be similar to Greg's on this. He just said Joanne 1 point, and I agree. And then Nick 2 points. At least he had eggs. The Benedict isn't great. The other 3 all sound, to a certain extent, like Greg Davies. Sorry, I just had an idea. What if I instead judge them on how much they sound like Dittman Rat? That's a terrible idea. Let's not do that. Anyway, 3rd place, I think I'll give to Sophie, because those are also eggs, but babies is better than Benedict. But it's not too glorious. 4 points to Steve. It's glorious that he came up with the same name as me. But 5 points if you have heard Grieg's music. That is some excellent stuff. The morning song everybody knows from cartoons. And In the Hall of the Mountain King. All right? And those are both from the same suite of, like, I don't know how many songs, but right? Anyway, it's good music. And that morning song is definitely glorious. So, a big 5 points to John Robbins. More eggs. Yeah. The egg babies.
Yeah,
Here we go.
ooh, an egg.
Welcome, Sophie.
And the fact he chose that costume just really works with their theming. I noticed that earlier.
Egg, is it?
Egg, is it? Yes. Yes, it is an egg.
Do the riskiest thing involving this egg.
Without breaking this egg. Love that.
The egg in the greatest danger that doesn't break wins.
You have 20 minutes. Your time starts now.
OK, well, our first 2 risk takers are Nick Mohammed and Joe McNally.
Do we have puffer wrap?
Bubble wrap?
Yes.
See how that egg's
Hard
doing.
boiling it is dangerous for the egg,
Okay.
technically. Because
Okay,
it's changing its composition. I mean, how do you define danger?
I'm going to try and throw brick
Hey, what
and
is
get
this?
as close as I can.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't look dangerous, but I like that. I just like watching. Oh!
That's risky.
You finished?
It's
Yeah,
her
I think
eggs
so.
right. Ooh, yeah.
I'd say it's cracked. Oh, I'm sorry.
It hasn't spilled out, but you still say it's cracked. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much for taking me out for a ride. I know your husband's at his cow riding lesson.
Look out!
This is great.
my God, are you okay? You saved my life. Hits a brick wall.
Yep.
We both survive intact.
Yes.
And if you have any doubt as to the riskiness of that procedure, please speak to the production staff about the 2-hour meeting we had about...
2 hours.
It's Steve Pemberton.
Must be 20 minutes.
When I tell you a story
I'll talk about that later.
We're in the mining town of Yokeston, population half a dozen. It's a Friday, beautiful day, sunny side up. And they're trundling through here. As you can see, there's lots of CCTV, and this alerts the local poachers. And they are chasing Egbert. And there's huge risks, so Shelley has to go quickly.
All right, I like poachers. I liked that the weather is sunny side
There's
up.
the Omelette Express. Shelley's rearing up. The poachers run out of breath. But here's the greatest danger and the greatest risk of all. Egbert has to run over. His brain was scrambled, but Egbert and Shelley go on.
You made it. Thank you.
He's happy, is he?
Did Egbert crack when he fell from the stagecoach?
Oh, you mean after the task had been completed? There may have been some albumin.
And you were so enjoying yourself, weren't you?
I really was.
You were having a lovely time.
I did have a lovely time.
Good.
Let's see what Sophie is up to.
Would be risky to get it on your head, wouldn't it? My grandma used to do it. You know, the posture test with an apple on her head.
Does she?
Yeah, or a book.
So she's going for actual risk again.
Risky.
It's either going to happen immediately, it's either going to fall immediately, or
Right, hang on.
never.
Oh, no.
It's not quite immediate!
He's gone! Well, I still get a point for trying, don't I?
Do you? You're not getting a point from me. Okay. Because before we hear Greg's verdict, let's get our own verdict. Or my own verdict, not yours. When I said our, I mean me and only me. Timing is always an interesting aspect of these tasks. Not always, but very often a very interesting aspect of these tasks. And for Steve, he had 20 minutes to do his thing, and the egg cracked before the whistle was blown. I don't think we heard any whistle, actually. So even though he was done doing what he wanted to do, the 20 minutes weren't up, he definitely gets 0. Then there's a controversy, or a controversy, that Greg Davies didn't point out about John Robbins' 2-hour meeting. Well, okay. I have a feeling that this happens occasionally whenever there's safety involved, okay? You're tasked with doing something in 20 minutes, and if you have a good enough idea and there's questions about it, but the production crew really still wants to see it, they will pause the clock. I think that happens pretty rarely, but I'm going to assume that's what happened, and I'm not blaming John. So, yeah, controversy averted. But the other people who get 0 points are Sophie and Nick, who both broke their eggs. Oh, I kind of want to give bonus points for the ones I really liked. That might happen later. I have a bonus point round. We'll wait on that. But anyway, that leaves the 2 J's. Joanne and John. And yeah, this is one of the things. It's crazy that Joanne is getting 4 points, but John obviously gets 5. And that means he has 10 points right now. He has double anybody else, at least in my scores. You know what? I just realized that we've seen this task before. I'm pretty sure. In one of the New Year's treat specials, there was a task like almost exactly like this, okay? Do not break the egg, but do something, I think the word they used was daring with it. Do something daring with the egg, and now it's do something risky with the egg. That's the exact same thing. That is literally, in an almost literal sense of the word literal, that is literally the same task. I mean, this is something different from even copying off of New Zealand taking one of their tasks. They're taking one of their own tasks. All right. I just looked it up. The actual wording of that New Year's treat task was put the egg in the egg cup in the most daring way. So they actually had to transport it somewhere. But that is very nearly the same task. That makes me angry. I mean, I enjoyed the task too, so I mean, I guess it was a good one. But we'll see. I wonder if there's going to be any more nearly identical tasks in the future. Let's see if Greg noticed that.
OK, Greg, and it's time to meet the teams.
Teams already. So, you didn't get to see my reaction to Nick because I already knew what he was wearing. But we'll see somebody else's reaction to Nick.
Hi, Alex. What am I looking at? Oh,
That's where you stand.
behind the line?
No.
Here?
Yes, please. Ah.
We might not see their reactions.
I'm going to open it. Create the best single picture of an animal doing something surprising. All 6 blinds must be fully and equally involved in your picture. You may not see each other's work. What? Is there someone else here?
What's your name and where'd you come from?
John and I come from Bristol.
Hello, John. Sophie from Bolton.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Oh, hello. Who's that? There's more of us.
Hello.
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 I'm Joanne.
Hello, Joanne. Your time starts when Alex blows to his whistle.
Well, there's 3 on each, so is this going to make just one
Pulling blinds. Me too.
picture? What?
So here's how they all got on at painting on blind and talking in 2 words at a time and that sort of thing.
Colour?
All right.
Green. Lovely. Animal? Giraffe? Lying down? Giving birth.
Dog car.
What? Bowl.
Well, yeah, they definitely need to figure out the order, or if they don't figure out the order, just,
What?
I mean, it will be very entertaining is what it will be.
To Steve. Neck. Yes? Yes.
Wiki length.
Small.
I like the camera angles.
Mine's longer.
Catching up.
I can't say much, I just want to listen to all of these dumb
10 seconds
weird
left.
sentences. Oh, stuff's happening. Stuff is being created. Boop.
Yeah.
You
That-
can't look at each other's work, so if you just head towards the front door.
Both of us. We get to say hello to each other.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good.
Look at your hands. I know, I got a bit carried away actually because I got very confused.
And you figure out episode title. Maybe legs akimbo. But there's probably a whole bunch of
Unfortunately,
great
one of them
sentences
did
in
do
there
landscape,
that I
one
already
did
forgot
portrait,
about.
So it actually looks like this when you line them up.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Here is their picture of a dog driving and a cow dancing and a bird smoking.
And the ball dancing.
Good.
The car's not there. I mean, I'm trying to say nice things about the car for some reason.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
no
put the two
reason to
next
do
each other
that.
and you can judge them, Greg.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, I went back to see the giraffe pic that was all put together, and I mean, I think the editors did even more than just put them in the supposedly correct order. I think the editors also moved some stuff up and down to make it actually fit. But I mean, it looked pretty good. But here we got 2 paintings that, I mean, they both got the same colors. They both did some stuff right, especially with color-wise, and but there was no way they could figure out the correct order. I think I'm gonna give 3 points to the team of 2 and 2 points to the team of 3, because I mean, Sophie there had no idea what was going on, so she brought them down 1 point. But otherwise, they're kind of not comparable, or they are comparable, just. They're just about the same, is what I'm saying.
For this series, we've gone down to the Taskmaster farm.
Ooh. Taskmaster farm. Very nice.
Hoopla Gary, before he crosses the finish line.
Your time is doubled every time one of your limbs gets wet.
Fastest wins.
Gary.
The time starts now.
Is this Gary?
Oh, I was thinking
There's
Wayne.
someone down there.
Like, how is Wayne going to be part of this? No, it's someone else.
Gary!
So I've
I
got a
am
hoopla
going to
him
love
round the
this.
head.
Can't
Tricky, isn't it?
get wet, or if you get wet, you have to
Come on,
start over,
Gary.
something like that. He's throwing pretty well.
Oh, it's cold. Is
Oh,
this
I bet
safe?
it is.
Because I'm quite short. All right. Oh my god! Oh, it is cold, isn't it?
Ask if your arms are wet.
My arms aren't wet at all.
Okay.
Nailed it.
I'll stop the
Okay,
clock.
I don't think that's bad. So I think just it adds time if
I
you
think
get
you're
your
in
legs
danger
wet
of
for
ruining
each limb.
Dracula's reputation.
It's time for John, Joanne, and Steve.
There's a boat.
Oh boy.
Ah, there he is.
Hey, Gary, wait there a sec.
I'm going to try with a small one first.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Classic Taskmaster song. Was that Steve?
Well, if you want, but I've stopped the clock.
You've stopped the clock.
You did it.
The wind isn't great now.
All right.
Alex, I'm running out of things! There we go.
Sorry, Nick.
Thank you.
Actually,
Can I have a couple of distance goes for fun?
bah!
Now? It's Sophie's turn.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for Gary
Get ready,
to get over
everyone.
here.
Right, okay.
He's taking his time. Come on, Gary. Step it up.
Nothing really weird so far. She's just better throwing.
Come on. Nearly.
Anticlimactic so far, but
Not gone well. I just get one limb. Just one. Gary!
that's been more than 10 seconds.
Are you all right?
Get me out!
I'll get you out a bit.
I'm going down!
Yeah, no, that's very dangerous. Yeah,
I think I got carried away.
yeah.
Who's that?
Are you out?
Is that Gary?
No, that's the scarecrow and some waders. Keep you dry.
Oh, yeah.
Long walk back as well.
Alex,
Too bad.
couldn't help. Did you notice when I was grappling with my life?
So,
You can do
some
something.
points out.
Well, Sophie first
Get
of all
another
didn't actually
camera.
complete the task and then got all 4 limbs wet, so it's... I don't know what you want to do with that.
Well, I want to give her no points.
Right.
Well, yeah, I think I'm also giving her
Champion.
no points. She didn't complete the chance, the task.
Nick
And
took
the
2
other
minutes
scores are gonna
45.
be the same.
2 limbs got wet, so that doubles twice to 11 minutes. John, 2 minutes 5 seconds.
Please make your way to the stage for the final task of the
Final task of the show. Oh, gosh. For those of you who have not seen my series 16 reactions, this is where we pause and start the obfuscation round, in which I award bonus points for whatever. I don't like how like willy-nilly throws out his bonus points, although actually he's pretty much stopped doing that lately. But I give myself a specific time for that. And I have 4 possible points to give. And a 5th one later. But I've got 4, and a lot of people did interesting stuff. In the egg task, I really liked Nick's idea and Steve's idea. They didn't work out. So I might do that. In the team task, I kind of want to give the team of 2 a point for they did well enough that the editors were able to make an actual giraffe out of it. I think I'm just going to give each of them 1 point, and I'm going to say that's for the egg task for doing something pretty entertaining and then just going a little too far. Maybe I shouldn't be giving out bonus points for that. I don't know. Maybe I am being too generous. There's also the issue of the episode title. I give my 5th bonus point out, or in this case, it's only going to be my 3rd. But I give my last bonus point out for the person who said the episode title, and I need to come up with one. I kind of liked Legs Akimbo. I don't know. The problem is nothing this episode really stood out to me, and I was looking for episode titles too. But maybe there was something in the team task that I missed, but I'm not going to go back to that. And for Legs Akimbo, I don't know if that was Steve or Nick. So, instead, I'm going back to the egg task, where Steve had a few egg puns that really tickled me. I know one of them was Sunny Side Up. So that might be the title. I will go back and rewatch that after this to decide on the exact title, but I am going to choose a title from his egg puns. And that gives him 1 more bonus point. But enough of that. Now it's time for the live task. Final task of episode 1. Here we go.
Show! Hi, Alex.
Oh, hi, Greg.
Who's going
Is
to
this a sausage exam?
Oh, I think Nick Mohammed's going to read it.
Here we go. Bring your sausage to life. You have 30 seconds. You may not write any words on your drawing. Best sausage wins.
Yes, so there's going to be 4 rounds of this, and you're bringing your sausage to life in different ways. This is their sausage, Greg.
Oh, God.
So, Greg
Okay,
will now give you the
this
first category.
was a Taskmaster
Alex's whistle.
Australia
Make
final
your
task that
sausage
went really well.
human. The least human sausage will be eliminated.
And they're off, Greg.
Except, I don't know how this one's gonna go. The other one, they used monsters.
Hands down!
I just immediately drew reproductive organs of both sexes, so
Oh, I see.
that's just eyes, obviously very human, teeth, very human.
Please show Greg.
I am trying to keep this, PG-13 if I can.
I wanted to give human characteristics without putting all of my eggs into one human basket.
That took 30 seconds, Greg.
Yeah. You're sticking with the Dracula thing, yeah?
I just suddenly thought that doesn't make it human, though, does it?
No. Let's have a look at Sophie's drawing.
It's a type of
shown
human.
humanity.
It's a
in
human
sausage.
vampire as
portrait.
opposed to like a
Oh.
rat
Existentialism.
vampire.
He's going through a crisis, all right.
Sausage party girl.
She's quite fey, isn't she?
Yeah, she's off to a festival. You know, she's hoping to hear some bangers.
Yeah.
And, come on, Greg!
All right, if Steve's going to give us more of these, then I'm going to have to make
So
sure
you
not
have
to give him
eliminate
too
one of
many
these, and this
pun
person will get
points.
1 point. So who is that, Greg?
I'm going to have to get rid of Dracula, sorry.
1 point to Nick Mohammed.
That's all right.
Okay, this is going to be a tricky one to score because I would not be cutting out Nick's here. I would be cutting out someone else's. And that means we're not going to get to see what Nick would do next. So I'm going to have to kind of just try to memorize this, and we'll say that's how the picture is going to be for the rest of them, and then I can compare that. But what I'm doing is kicking out Joanne because I don't know. I'm kind of a cartoon rat, and I'm trying to avoid some of the spicier things that the adult comedians and Taskmaster want to do. And yeah, especially these YouTube reactions. If you're watching on YouTube, which I told you shouldn't, I told you should watch on Patreon. But if you're watching on YouTube, you are going to be missing out on purpose on some of the more adult content, adult jokes in here. I'm going to try to cut those out. I might not be perfect, but I try to get most of the swears and stuff out. But on Patreon, you will be getting the whole thing. So whatever it is they do, you'll be hearing it. Okay. Continue.
Okay. Please collecting your sausages. Round 2, Greg.
Make your sausage scary. Least scary sausage is eliminated. Adapt that sausage.
All right. So I don't care about Joanne's at all.
Would you like to see some scary sausages, Greg?
Yes, I would. Yes, I do.
Well, it's still a mouth, but the lipstick has become blood.
It's blood! Sophie.
Very good, John.
It looks to me like the sausage is just holding up a big oven chip.
It's a knife.
Steve?
I mean, it looks like he's a very bad gladiator.
It's Texas chainsaw sausage.
And she's
I'm gonna fight you,
Four
but I'm
scary sausages,
backing
Greg.
away.
Which
I'm
one
not
are
gonna
you
fight
least
you.
scared of?
I think we all know which one I was least scared of. I'm afraid Sophie's eliminated.
Sophie,
points to
I
Sophie
agree with
Willen.
that one.
Unlucky, Sophie.
2 points to Sophie.
Round 3, Greg.
Round 3 is make your sausage sporty. Adapt that sausage.
Okay, sporty sausage. Next wasn't very sporty. It was scary because it was a
Adapting your
vampire,
sausages.
but
Would you like to see Joanne's
probably gonna have to
sausage?
get rid of
You
Nick
know I
here.
would.
They're on their bicycles,
Yep.
which are at the bottom, and they're cycling so fast, Greg, they've given themselves terrible gum disease.
One sausage left, Greg.
This is
Hockey.
a hockey game.
Yep.
We've got the hockey stick with the fingers holding it, and this person's
It's a
tackling.
king.
Yeah.
And this is the ball, and sausage character is about to score.
Lovely. I could see it was hockey straight away.
Least sporty sausage.
Okay, well, I'm eliminating Nick here. All right, we got one more round.
Greg.
Make your sausage sexy.
Yeah,
Those sausages.
And they're off. Oh, Christ.
one of them already has.
Stop
Reproductive
making your sausage sexy,
organs.
please. Would you like to see...
Let's pause. How am I gonna score that? This was a really hard one. Because again, I don't know if I really want to even go the sexy route either. To just, which do I like better? John's or Steve's? I'm going to take another look at them. Okay, I'm trying to come up with a reason that John should win that one instead of Steve, and honestly, I'm not. Just because Steve already got a couple bonus points. But yeah, I am going to give Steve 5 and John 4. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Who won the episode? Or at least, who won, my episode? Because who cares about Greg? Well, John did not beat Steve in the final test, but he still beat Steve in the episode by 1 point. And we've got a pretty wide range of scores here with that little 7 under the other S for Sophie. More about that later. I'm going to tell you how I think the whole series is going to go down. But we also do need to hear what Greg says.
Oh, so many sausages.
Those sausages rocked.
Yeah. Greg, we have a 3-way tie. Look at the scoreboard.
Whoa.
Yes, Joanne.
Wow. Okay.
And Steve on the lead.
What are we going to do?
We do a chess piece in a chest of peas tie break, Greg. Oh.
All right. Nice job, Steve.
Everton wins. Please go and fumble with the things that you can mumble.
Yes, we have a good prize test. Okay. Gotta talk about the episode because I liked it, but I did not love it. So, I want to figure out why. Now, granted, last series, the first episode of Series 16, I felt the exact same way. And I think part of it is because I don't know any of these contestants at all. As I get to know them better, I bet they're just going to become funnier to me. But besides that, I did not like the tasks in this episode. Aside from the prize task, I've said I like that. The egg one, I've said, is too similar to the one they did in New Year's Treat. And I kind of briefly mentioned that live task was one they did in Taskmaster Australia. And honestly, it went really well in Taskmaster Australia. I don't think it went so great in this one. I don't know if that's just the case of I like the first one I see and then everything else is a poor imitation. But it kind of feels like that. But I do think the monster one was funnier, and they were allowed to write words, which ended up with something that actually isn't good for my image isn't the right word to use, but like I said, I'm trying to keep things PG, and some of the words used, or at least one of the words at the very end, had an unintended consequence. But it was really funny. Anyway, Australia's good, okay? You should see that. I'm not sure how long ago Australia was released, and if any of them could have seen it, because, I don't know, John seems like he was asking the correct questions about, okay, how is this going to go? It's like almost like he'd seen it before. Actually, I don't think he had. I think they wouldn't have had that out yet. But anyway, let's talk more about the contestants. Joanne McNally is actually the one of the 5 that I feel like I know the least about after having seen one episode. I don't really get what her stick is yet. Although she did go for some inappropriate stuff in the final task, and on this show, on the Dittman Taskmaster, that is going to cost you points. It definitely cost somebody last series a lot of points in the prize tasks. I don't have anything personally against that, but I am trying to run a show here. So we'll see if that was a one-off, or if that's going to be a recurring thing that is going to cost her the series. Because she was tied in first place there, so she had a good chance at the end. But anyway, continue on to the next contestant, who was also tied for first, and who won my episode, and that is John Robbins. I know John did a comedy series with Alex Horne, so he's definitely familiar with Alex, and I imagine he is very familiar with Taskmaster. That's just sort of the vibe he gives off. And I quickly figured out, he's going to be doing well this series. I think, throughout the series, he's going to be one of the top contenders. And after just the first 2 tasks, I thought, he's going to win. But now I'm less sure about that. We'll get to the other possible winner later. But next is Nick, who, we know from his attire and also a couple things he did, like in the egg test, that I think he thinks out of the box. He's creative, and I'm excited to see him. He might surprise us and be a winner, but I don't know. Right now, he's low down. He didn't do well in the gorilla task, and he didn't seem to really work the prize task. He didn't work too hard on that. He just brought in eggs for Greg, and then whatever comes after eggs. He didn't even try for Davis to rhyme with Davis. So he could be surprising, but I think he's not putting in enough effort. Then we get to Sophie, who, you can see here. She got 7 points here. What did she get in that one? I don't know. But I think she had got a pretty low score there, too. Last series, there was a clear last place contestant in Lucy. Oh, at least in mine. In that version, Lucy wasn't always in last place, actually. But I feel like Sophie is going to be similar. I'm not saying she herself is similar to Lucy, because Lucy's just wild, and Sophie's just bad at tasks. But I think she's going to be clearly, and Greg sees this already, clearly going to be filling that role this series. which leaves us with Steve. I've heard in random YouTube comments that people think he's very smart, and yes, he is quite cerebral, especially in that last tiebreak task. So yeah, he did really well in the prize task too. And if it weren't for breaking his egg after his excellent egg ride, then he'd have a pretty huge score this episode, honestly, especially with the 2 bonus points I gave him. Let's see, yeah, he probably would have gotten 4 points for that. So yeah, he'd have 22 points. But yeah, so we're definitely gonna have to watch out for him. It's gonna be, I believe, a Steve versus John series. I'm trying to think of, is there anything I missed talking about? And I don't think I really talked about that team task or the location task too much yet. I mentioned earlier, I thought, I didn't like, I liked the prize task. I didn't like the egg task. I mean, technically I did like it. I just didn't like how it was a repeat, but I didn't like the live task. What about these 2? The middle 2, not actually middle, it's the 3rd and 4th. But anyway, the 3rd one, I am going to have to rewatch. That was hard to react to, because I wanted to talk, but every sentence was so short that whenever I said anything, I was at risk of covering up something. So I am going to have to rewatch that. I bet I'm going to enjoy that one more on rewatch. But the gorilla task was very anticlimactic for me. Even the one with Sophie. I mean, that was funny that she went in the water and kind of flailed. But, I don't know, I thought something crazy was going to happen, like she wouldn't understand how hoops work or something. And the middle 3, even Greg said, yeah, it was effective, but not too exciting. So, where do we go from here? I don't know. I think this is actually a similar spot to where we were in Series 16, where I didn't really love the first episode, but then it got a lot better. So who knows? Which means it's time to wrap up, almost. I'm going to wrap up, but let's make sure we talk about any announcements I have, such as I mentioned earlier, I'm doing Tiny Toons next week, so you can get that next week. And you're going to be able to see the full first episode for free on Patreon. And then, just like Taskmaster, you'll see partial episodes on YouTube. And then you'd have to pay for the full episodes on Patreon. As for Taskmaster, it's going to be basically the same thing. You could get the full version if you do something a little extra on Patreon. But you're getting more than that. You're also getting it a week earlier than everyone else. And you're going to see my reactions to outtakes and the contestant interviews. I know all 5 interviews are out already. And actually, the first outtakes video is out already. So I think that's for episodes 1 and 2. I'm behind already, but I will be reacting to those. Taskmaster usually has pretty great outtakes, right? And that's all for today.
I reckon I did really well on this one.